Welcome back to On the Nose. I'm joined in studio once again by my good friend Thad Taylor. Thad, welcome back in, mate.
Thanks as always, Paulie, for having me on the nose. Look forward to this every week, this little 20-minute segment, because we can glean plenty from what the markets were telling us on those domestic Saturday meetings. So there's a bit to be learned, it's a bit to be seen, and there was plenty of good racing on Saturday, to be fair.
Certainly was. 2 meetings, one up north at Rua Kaka, but we're going to start in the central districts at New Plymouth, where it was interprovincial day. We'll start at race 1, though. A small field there, but Kate Hercock and Tavi Cork gets home for Anna Clement.
Yeah, she was emotional after too. Anna with the 10-year-old Tavi's Court saluting. It was certainly a race for the elder statesman.
Crocky, he's almost as old as us.
Yeah, exactly. Mate time's about 8. Shajab is about 9. The ladies' man, I think, is at least 8. Yeah, look, the story, Tavi's Court didn't budge. It was a break-even result. There was money for it. What made this market or undid this market was Ladies' Man and the opening price of Ladies' Man. And look, I think something to keep an eye on going forward, Paulie. There's a bit more.
You think the 1400 just was a wee bit too sharp for Ladies' Man?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And Alan Sharrett came out and basically said that. Had 66 kilograms to carry, -4. With Floor Mormon there.
No, I think it was Frankie, wasn't it?
Of course, sorry, it was Frankie Barrett who had a good day.
She did.
Outside of that. But what I'm saying is they're open $2.60, and I think you're going to see a little bit more of this potentially with these quality horses resuming opening a bit shorter than they might. A bit more data-driven pricing coming out of the TAB, and, you know, that's perhaps why Ladies' Man opened up so short. So something to potentially keep an eye on going forward is my advice. It was out the door. I mean, that meant Shajaba shortened up, Make Time shortened up, and Travis Court held its ground as Ladies' Man drifted from 260 out to 450. So just saying a potential opportunity for customers here, just to keep an eye on these horses, good horses resuming in unsuitable races.
We're sort of in the twilight zone where we haven't quite got to spring proper, and there's still a few of those, I guess, mudlarks who are still going around.
Yeah, the residual fitness, isn't it? We talk about that.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and I don't blame odd setters to a degree, because they've got to be a bit wary. You can't go and open Ladies' Man up at $10 and then everyone says, what, you're mad? The quality runner, it starts at $3.
Were you thinking? Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I just think that they probably overdid it there, and just with a bit of the data that's used to help them or assist them price these races, I just spud at Ladies' Man a bit short, and that was the whole doing of the race. We spent about 10 minutes on race 1, but the guts of it was break even, Tavi's Court, race 1.
Right, race 2, and Florin with Alan Nicholas aboard gets home for Michael Wallace.
Yeah, Alan had the favourite. Alan Sharrett had the favourite here in Explosive Impact, and that was relatively easy, 260 out to 340, and Florin as well. It was the other favourite, 340 out to 480, as they backed Violets Are Blue, 17 into $4.80. And Atoge was first up. We know it over a bit more of a trip, but obviously they're happy with where Atoge is for its preparation. It raced up over 2,200 metres and won some races last prep, so it was, there was a decent move for Atoge. But Florin was still well backed because of the 2 favourites. They weren't that keen on Alan Sharrock's runner, Explosive Impact. It was -20 Florin in the second.
Race 3, and here we go, Alan Sharrock in Taranaki with Frankie Barrett getting the 4-kilo claim here. So, is this another Barrett?
Yeah.
Taranaki Barrett? You tell me.
I don't know. It's a good question. That's probably something we can easily find out too.
Yeah.
Just not in the next 30 seconds
But
or
anyway,
so.
got the winner home.
Yeah, and Alan liked this one, and he said as much on the radio. And, sometimes, as he said, Ladies' Man, probably not today. He said his best of the day was Bella Timing. Duly saluted, 245 into 220, -10,000. Stone the Crows was first up for the Rainers and ran second, albeit a distant second. It was $8.50 all the way into $3, and then back to $4.40. So I think what happened there was we saw them go, we've got the wrong price on Stone the Crows. Woof, turned the tap completely off, and then you're sort of second-guessing where the actual correct price was, and it ended up being back at around $4.40, $4.50 for Stone the Crow. So it was a significant move, but they probably overcooked it there, which meant that late move for Bella Timing, just to eat up that percentage, 245 into 220, -10,000.
Race 4, and we've got Alan Nicholas picking up her second win of the day on Rosetown Princess.
Yeah, it was a 7-horse field, this one, Rosetown Princess's race, and they liked 3 horses, and they didn't like 4 of them. Nigella Lane was 4 into 320. It was minus 70,000. Wheelerton ran second. It was 9 into 450. And King Kwan was 9 into $5.50. So they were the three they did like, which meant Rosetown Princess was 5 out to 9. And even though it was a mover, last time out when it raced at Te Rapa, the start prize. So those that followed it there or followed the move may have stuck with. But 5 out to 9 plus 30, no money at all for Swing It Our Way, the Alan Sharrett runner in that race. So just got to watch the moves here. They can tell, the market can tell you everything to a degree around those sort of generally well-backed runners. It wasn't going to be for Swing It Our Way, according to the marketplace. 420 out to 6, but Rosedown Princess plus 30.
Race 5, and Donna Logan brings White Marsh down from up north, and it was well worth the trip.
Yeah, 100% it was. And they didn't forget to back it. 3 in a row. 3 in a row, might be 4 in a row. Anyway, it's getting the picket fence form line going with White Mask, beautifully placed in the maiden as at minus 10,000. A couple of other movers. Another Won't Hurt was second up for Jack Scott. Didn't run too bad. Broke maidens at a big price, but there was a move 13 into 7. The locals liked, the Patterson team liked O'Kieran's Bell. It was 9 into 550. That was minus 30. Didn't go the greatest of races on Saturday. Leprechaun was 18 into 11. It ran a nice third in the race, so there was a bit of value there for customers. But White Mask, well backed, well found. Wasn't favourite when we opened. I think it closed favourite, 6 into 420.
Okay, that Alan Sharrock and Frankie Barrett combination get home in race 6 with the favourite Indian Gold.
Yeah, ridden like the best horse. I'd say that just didn't have any sort of luck, but to be fair to Frankie, just didn't panic. Just got it doing its work nicely at an even speed there out wide. And to be fair, though, wasn't a bad place to be, sort of the outside half of the track there at New Plymouth on Saturday. Yeah, look, well found. We opened short, though, $1.70. Got to $2, then back to $1.90 late. Roses Are Red, the sister of Violets Are Blue, was 15 into $6. They love backing the sisters. Tracy Bliss's 2 horses there. Tormentor was 21 out to 34, back into 13 late. So the Bryce Revel runner might be one worth following. Tormentor, even though it ran last. It was only 5 lengths away. Maybe in the right race, that is a bit of a bet. And CX Quest, the Alexander runner, was 480 out to 750 and didn't feature, so the marketplace sort of knew to a degree. But the good thing of the day down there, Indian Gold got the job done. It was minus 5,000. Not a huge loss, or because of the low lay price there off that $1.70 opening.
Race 7, the Interprovincial, and Chrissy Banbury with Chris Dow and Chantilly Lace. Yeah, well, anyway.
Yes.
Well, this one, the market missed. They missed her. She's been a great mare too.
She doesn't often run a bad race and can run a very good race, and that's the Chantilly Lace we saw on Saturday. But 14 out to 23 plus 25,000. They nearly got it right with Zanzibar, in fairness. It was $6 second or third favourite on opening, smashed into $3.30 in favourite. In a tough race, they found Zanzibar, and it was minus 100,000, so they nearly got it well and truly. Uranui ran third. That was rock solid. Bell's Bow was the big drifter, 5 out to 850. It was our initial favourite. Just been a little bit disappointing its last few. Bell's Bow had to carry the big weight, but it was a drifter the market knew. Gaza was 17 into 11. I see Steve Hunt tipped that on track, so he's got a fair following already there, as one Stephen Hunt. And I tipped Tobias as my each-way bet on Thursday in the race at $8. I'm a good judge, Paul, as you know. Out to 20s at the close, Tobias.
I hope you got a piece of the top 4.
So you took the 8.
Top 4?
If you took the 8s, I apologise. I'll say unlucky 4th. You got held up at a crucial stage, but yeah, anyway, ran 4th, but yeah, the price that I was suggesting it was a good bet was horrible. Paid 20s, Tobias.
Right, final race of the day at New Plymouth, and tie with Kate She bookended the meeting, didn't she? I think she did, Kate Hercock, for Joanne Moss.
Yeah, she's going great, Kate Hercock.
She is.
You don't, she can lead them up, and she won't give anyone else a chance the way she's riding at the moment. We got done in here, Paul. You'll be disappointed to hear.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, exactly. Protest, second versus first. Our Lady Brook crossed the line first here. Ty was second, and it was reversed on protest. And we pay on both. Fixed odds final field. So it was minus.
Don't worry, I got a couple of messages around that. Some very, very happy punters.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because our Lady Brook was well back, 480 to 440, as was Ty, 11 to 7. So couldn't have been probably two worse horses to combine in the race. It was that meant it was all minus 40,000 in the last, with that paying both under that rule in final field where you pay whoever's first past the post. Billy Boy, another one of Steve Hunt's value bets, back from the hurdles, was 18 into 10, ran a gallant race up on speed. It was minus 100,000, but as I say, the protest did us in. Minus 40,000 to end the day there at New Plymouth.
Oh, dear. And overall at New Plymouth?
Well, we're down at New Plymouth, minus 30,000. Florida was a losing result, Bella Timing, a White Mask, Indian Gold, and obviously the last race just finished us off, Ty and Our Lady Brook, so minus 30 New Plymouth.
And never has the last race been more aptly named the Get Out Stakes.
Yeah, I think everyone almost got out.
Well done.
Exactly. Congratulations there.
Right, we head up north to Rua Kaka for the Northland Breeders' Stakes Day. At race 1, Miss Seth with Widdamoo Pin aboard, and he had a bit of trouble with Miss Seth prior to the start of the race, but she did the business.
Yeah, earned his riding feed and won Widdamoo on Miss Seth. She'd been running good races up at Rua Kaka across the sort of winter, I say carnival, not the right word, but this winter sort of period, and deserved to win, got it, and was extremely well packed until about 20 minutes prior to the first, or quarter of an hour prior to the first. Then drifted back out past its opening quote as she was sweating up and doing all sorts of things wrong. But the damage was done as far as we were concerned. Minus 30,000, Miss Seth. Well done, Widdamoo Pin. Vegas Lights was the beneficiary of that support with Miss Seth drifting. Vegas Lights 550 into 390. Some interesting money man, Kuroko, drew wide, 18 into $8. So the market was telling us it was going to race forward, I think, from that wide barrier draw. That's exactly what happened, but didn't finish off. What you make of the move going forward, I'm not too sure, but there was money. Kuroko for the Van Leerd team, 18 into $8, but it was minus 30. The damage was done early on Miss Seth.
Race 2, play it again, Sam. Warren Kennedy, Barbara Kennedy, around the $5 mark.
Yeah.
I'm guessing not the best.
The only thing that saved us here is as a first starter. And there were a couple of horses that had been to the races that did have support. One was Brago, who has
had Opie Bosson aboard.
Yes, that man Opie, who was seeing support for his runners everywhere.
Let's not mention Topol then.
No, please don't.
Okay.
All right. 420 into 270, minus 70,000. So that's what saved us. Saltburn was the other horse with race day experience and ran almost like the winner, Saltburn. And there was really good money for it as a long shot first up in New Zealand at Te Rapa. Didn't run a bad race and nearly won. It was 550 into 450. Katamuku and With All My Dreams were two first starters. They were soft, and when you talk about the first starters in these races, they can be a little bit easy, particularly late in proceedings. And Alfaba was a runner for Kenny Ray. Drew Barrier 1 was a fraction unlucky and was 27 into 15. So Alfaba might be one to mark down. Played again, Sam, was impressive, but it never budged off its $5 quote. It was plus 30,000.
Nice. Race 3, Cleat with Gareth Lahood aboard, getting the 4 kilo claim. Came in handy.
Yeah, it did. Forgotten Cleat. this is a funny race. It wasn't a funny race. Age of Discovery was $2 all week off the back of a good trial one, and then just got the blows on race day. This market was turned on its head late. Age of Discovery was 2 out to 3, which meant Rec Tac and Fantastic Smile both came in. $4.80 into $4. Fantastic Smile 4 into 3 to take on Age of Discovery, who was well backed early, and then when it got out to towards $3, our customers sort of went again a bit. But the market was certainly against Age of Discovery. It didn't run a bad race, sort of missed the start and got back. And then there was money for Rep Tech and Fantastic Smile, and they forgot about Cleat completely, plus 75,000.
Wow.
Domain Ace was in the race, former a good 3-year-old, and there was no money for it, and it didn't run overly well, Domain Ace. So you want to see Domain Ace again. It was 750 out to 11, no support for a Team Rogerson runner. We'll just wait and see with Domain Ace. But Cleat, because of Age of Discovery, Rep Tech and Fantastic Smile, it was plus 75, Cleat.
Race 4, and the market found this one. I think the bookies had Tuxedo fairly short anyway, but nice run.
Yeah, wow. You couldn't have been much more impressive on resumption, Tuxedo, and they knew about it here. They know about it in terms of a Prasia plate. It's one of the worst results in that market, and nothing was backed to beat Tuxedo in the last half an hour or so. Illicit Dreams ran an honest race, but was like 4 out to $5.56. Habana with the big weight was out the gate late. Bosch, who was a little nibble for during the week, no, which meant Tuxedo was 2 into $1.45 at the off. Low natural lay price, which meant the damage wasn't overly large. Obviously, everyone's multi-bets were in, and as I say, if you bet late, you were never really in danger, but it was a sort of a break-even, small loss result around Tuxedo, who's onwards and upwards to a Group 1 there at Ellerslie.
Looking forward to seeing the season that Tuxedo comes up with. Race 5, Elysian Fields. Is this one that the market found, or was it one that just got away slightly?
Just got away slightly. They held eyes for a couple here. One was Arabella for Michelle Bradley, who won well last time at a big price, and then they climbed in this time. It was 9 into $4.80, and Coincidental for the Kennedy team again there, 9 into $5.50. So they were the two they backed. Elysian Fields just didn't give anything else a look at, to be fair. It just went to the front and improved its position, as they say. Plus 20,000 though, it was sort of $7 out to $7.50. Support in particular for Arabella, the local there.
Race 6 was the feature race of the day, the Cambridge Stud Northland Breeders' Stakes, and Tajana, who was last as they came round the turn, stuck to the rail pretty much, and got the business done at around $10 or $11.
Yeah, it was 6 out to 9 with that. Look, there was no doubting her quality, and what she did was impressive. I guess what was telegraphed, or what the marketplace was saying, they talked to Sean Ritchie here on the day, is she was going to be better over longer than the 1,200 metres, and she'd be ridden patiently and let her try and finish off, which meant she was 6 out to 9, and they almost got this race perfect. Customers or the marketplace. Geneva was 2.10 into $1.95. Did he handle the track? That's what the claim was in the steward's report around Geneva. We need to see Geneva again. Yokozuna, 1 start, 1 win at Rua Kaka, was 9 into $5.50. Ran a very gallant race for second. Nocturne. I don't come out of nowhere, this money, but I actually text Stephen Hunt prior to the start saying, what do you know about this Nocturne? It was 31 into 12, back to 13 late. And 1 start as a 2-year-old paying $43, and then went and ran third at the trials resuming. Wow, the market knew something all right, because it ran a heck of a race from third last, Nocturne. 31 into $13. Eliza James went bush on the corner, a long shot. The locals were on Eliza James to a degree, but yeah, money on Yokozuna, money on Geneva, money on Nocturne went to Jana, was plus 35, and she's onwards and upwards to 1,000 guineas. She's a $7 joint favourite with Lucy in the Sky there.
So the market wasn't too far away, to be fair. In fact, the race sort of panned out exactly as was expected, apart from that withering finish from Tajana.
They're expecting her. Everyone's expecting her to be finishing hard, but just not being able to pick up the likes of a Yokozuna and a Geneva. But just sort of all set up for her, and gun ride. Didn't have to cover too much extra ground, and she just finished off like a good horse. So onto the 1,000 guineas, I would say.
Race 7, I'm Lulu with Joe Doyle aboard for Todd McDonald.
Yeah, and I'm Lulu can do this. It was solid. It was favourite. And, wins a race here and there. It was plus 15,000, never budged. Another local here, Tide and Time, who they keep backing. And again, it was a 4th, wasn't it? So
it was.
Yeah, I didn't run a bad race. 9.15 to 4.80. Texas back to a mile, and back from open class was 12 into 7. And good old Leitrim Lad, maybe looking for some fences, but we opened him $12 out to 50s. Ran a bottler, Leitrim Lad. In fact, on trackside on Saturday, I said, there's 8 horses in this field, 9 horses in this field. The only one that can't win according to the marketplace is Leitrim Lad.
You put a line through.
Yeah, I said, don't worry about him. The market says no, and he ran a banger.
Lovely top 3 finish.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll be looking for some steeples, Leitrim Lad. But I'm Lulu plus 15, Tide and Time. And Texas took most of the support there.
Final race of the day, race 8, and Super Rosa for Michael McNabb. gets favourite punters home.
Yep, and they finish they finish with a bang. Customers at Rua Kaka back-to-back for Super Rosa and Kenny Ray. Not too much else to talk about, really. It wasn't favourite on opening. We opened Santa Catalina favourite, who ran well first up. Again, is this like a ladies' band, Santa Catalina?
Mm-hmm.
Got the form on the board last preparation. Comes into a race potentially where it's short of its best. Hasn't got the fitness on its side. It's open short. Marketplace reacts and ends up backing Super Rosa into favourite. So just keep your eye on these resuming horses, particularly good resuming horses in unsuitable races. That's my piece of advice for the day, Paulie, because there could be an edge there. Phantom Dragon was $4.50 into $4, but Super Rosa $4.50 into $3.30 minus 30,000 to finish today.
So overall for Rua Kaka?
That was a win for the TAB, plus 110,000, with particularly likes of Cleat, Play It Again Sam, Elysian Fields, and Tajana. Those were 4 good results on the day for us. It was Super Rosa that was the worst result for us up there, but plus 110. So 1 winning meeting for customers, 1 losing meeting for customers, a small win overall for the TAB on Saturday.
Okay, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with a review of a Foxbridge Day at Te Rapa and, of course, the meeting at Hawera as well. But until then, thanks for tuning in and see you next week.